Hey guys, in today's show we're going to show you how to add a backup camera to a Jeep, so stay tuned. So today we're going to install Echomaster's Jeep Wrangler camera kit. Now this is a cool kit because it works one of two ways. If you're adding an aftermarket radio and you want to do it, you can, and if you have the factory radio with the existing screen in the dash, you can add it to that as well. It's a combination between Echomaster and Pack Audio. It's all owned by the same company, so the two will work together. Now the nice thing about this is there's really nothing that you have to modify on the Jeep in order to install the kit. It installs pretty seamlessly, so we're going to show you that today as well as it working in the dash when we're done. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's take a look and see what comes with the kit specifically. So you have the mounting bracket, and then you have the camera itself. The camera itself comes with the wiring for it, as well as a butt connector, and then the little camera. Now what they've done is they put this sticker on the top of it to show where up is. So then you just simply feed this through here, like so. And then just kind of push it in, and that's it. And then before you're done, you'll do the final adjustment. You know, you can turn it just a little bit, and then when you get it just right, you'll pop it into place.
Now,
for you guys out there that are wondering, backup lines are available as well as mirroring. So if you connect these two wires together, it's going to go ahead and shut that feature off. So in this case, we really don't need parking lines because we're using a new radio that has them and they're adjustable. So we're going to go ahead and connect these together. So this is Tempflex. This is 1/2-inch Tempflex. What we're going to do is we're going to cover this wire in it. There's a small grommet right here on the back of the door that we're going to go ahead and remove. This is where we're going to run our camera wire in, is right here. And we're going to snake it up through this hole on the other side. Alright, so how this camera mount goes in is there's this little piece of plastic on here. You want to slide it back just a little bit so that you can slide this behind it. Just like this, and that's basically how that mounts. Just in case you guys are wondering what kind of fish this is just a really long zip tie that we buy at Home Depot. So we have our wire coming out through the hole. We're going to go ahead and zip tie it up and run the rest of this. So what Fernando's doing here is he's putting some loom over the wire, that way when it runs through the Jeep, because the Jeep is pretty much all exposed, you can pull the carpets out, you can do all that fun stuff. The wire won't get pinched, stepped on, or otherwise cut, because let's be honest, this stuff's pretty cheap and flimsy. It's nice to just have a little extra protection over the outside of it. So like we said, we are putting a new radio in this car. Typically these Chrysler dash kits, for the most part, they suck. There's 2 of them out there, well, 3 of them out there. In this case, even though 9 times out of 10 we're going to tell you to use something from these guys, Metra just happens to make a better dash kit for this car. So we're going to go ahead and put this in. We'll show you how to do it. Now what makes these kits kind of suck is this extra piece right here. When you set this on like that, it puts this up a little bit too high. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to remove just a little bit of this so that this actually will sit flush, and screw down just a little bit more, pushing the radio out of the dash just a tad so that it levels up with this a little better. If you're doing a radio that has pigtails like this on the back, either zip tie them up or put some loop or tape on them, because nothing sucks worse than once you slide the radio in, these getting all caught up in the dash. You run the risk of damaging them. Alright, so just a little explanation of what we're doing here real quick, because some of you probably wondering, hey, why is he cutting in this dash? So, when you're putting in an aftermarket radio in this piece right here kind of gets in the way. Now, it's L-shaped, so you have a piece that runs this way and a piece that runs that way. So what you want to do is remove the bottom portion of it only, leaving the top back place, or the piece that's like this. That way, it removes this 1/8 of an inch of product that's in the way, so when we go to put in the radio, it doesn't hit this and it won't bow this up. Now, if you remove this totally, what happens is this dash isn't exactly made out of metal. It's made out of some pretty weak plastic, and it will shift, and this will widen, and this could go crooked. So this kind of keeps everything lined up. So back to it, Fernando.
Okay.
So right here in the center console is the factory USB adapter where you can plug in. Now this particular customer has an iPhone, so they're going to be doing CarPlay, so we want to make sure we can retain that. So what we're going to use is this Pack Audio USB GM1 and get to this guy right here. This is the factory USB, so what we want to do is plug our cable into here, like so, and then we can attach our Pioneer to this. Now we want to make sure that this doesn't come off, so we're going to go ahead and put some shrink wrap around this. So a lot of you guys ask us, hey, can I retain my cool factory microphone? And sadly the answer is no, you can't. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you what we do so that you can retain the same location but add in the Pioneer microphone. So there's this clip here and there's another one right here on the other side that you need to push in order to get this down. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to remove the factory microphone out of this assembly and tuck it back up in the hole. So So we want to remove these and we want to get down so that now what we're going to do is we're going to glue this at an angle, something like this here. And we're going to remove the top part. So we don't need this. Okay, so now what we have is the cool mount. We can go ahead and snap our microphone into it, just like this, and aim the microphone down. For this install, we're going to use the Pack Audio RP4 CH11. This one will allow us to retain the factory steering wheel controls. So a lot of you guys ask, it's like, why do I need to use one of these smart harness? What is this all about? Well, when you took the radio out, you noticed that the plug had very little wiring on it. And the reason, like this, there's no wiring here. There's these pinks, there's this power ground, there's this. So there's really nothing here. So what's missing is all of these cool things, which is like a turn-on wire, a power or illumination wire, a reverse wire, a brake wire, an amp turn-on wire. All these things are missing from this harness. And what this box does is this talks to the car's data system and generates all this stuff so that all this stuff will function after you've pulled out the factory radio. So that's why you need one. So right when you pull one of these out of the box, the first thing you want to do is turn on its side right here. There's a little dial. And what that dial corresponds to is what type of radio you're putting it into. In this case, we're using a Pioneer. We want to turn it to 7. You want to do this before you apply power to the unit. Otherwise, you'll have to pull the unit out and reset the unit. Now, the cool thing about this particular harness is that it comes with both versions of Chrysler interfaces. So you have the new and you have the old. So in this case, we're new. We're going to go throw away the old. And it also comes with this harness, which is what's going to allow you to attach into the steering wheel interface. So it has 2 wires. It has a blue-yellow, and it has this cool little 1/8 inch right here with this little rubber safety thing on it. The blue-yellow is going to be for JVC and Kenwood, and this guy here is going to be for pretty much everybody else. And we'll go ahead and plug it in, because it is small and it is easy to lose. The next thing when you're doing one of these Chrysler vehicles is this part right here. This is important. Basically what this has to do with is if it has a factory amplifier, the way these systems are designed is they don't use all 4 inputs. They don't use front, rear, left, right. They only use the rear inputs connected to the front. So we'll head into the car and we'll check and see if this has the factory amplifier or not. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to repin this harness so that these colors are the right way. Alright, so we have our car side of the wiring harness all prepped. Camera we're installing just needs a basic ground and an ignition. We're also going to add this blue wire here into the remote turn-on. That way if she ever decides to add amplifiers, we won't have to pull this all apart to grab a remote turn-on. Alright, so this is all ready to add this to. You guys know how to do that. So when you go to screw these in, what you want to do is not over tighten these bolts. You just want to kind of get them in and get them to the point to where they're just torqued down, but not like, you know, not, you know, that's a good sound. Yeah. Yep. And the reason why you don't want to do that is it will twist this like this and it'll pull these out, and then when you go to put this is all cockeyed. So this customer has an iPhone, as we said earlier. She's going to do CarPlay. Alright, let's test it out.
Disclaimers. All vehicles sold separately. Federal, state, and thumb tax notice.
So to set up the camera, go ahead and go into camera settings, backup camera input on. We'll scroll down here to parking assist guide. We're going to go ahead and turn those on. And then parking guideline adjust. Go ahead and turn those on. Move these down. Get them out of the way for right now. Good shot of the wall. Let's go ahead and test reverse. So reverse works. Alright, so the backup camera works. We're going to go ahead and put the dash back together, finish up our part, and then we'll test it again. Alright, that brings this Jeep one to a close. If you got a Jeep and want to add a backup camera, go check out this EchoMaster system. We'll put a link to it in the show notes so you can find it easily, right? Alright, Fernando.
Alright, so remember, we do this 5 days a week. Thank you for watching. You guys can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.
Now, if you have any questions about this product, please feel free to ask as usual. We'll get back to you. Otherwise, you guys have a great night, and we will see you later next time. Bye. If you got a Jeep and you want to add a backup camera, go check out the, what is this? What's the brand?
Right there, the bottom, on the floor.
Oh, what is EchoMaster?
Alright, remember, we do this 5 days a week.
Alright, sorry. Alright, start over.
Today is what?